Hi, my name is FLYNN, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also proud Phoenix Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with an incredible talent, the singer-songwriter-artist, Ryan Flynn. For more on Ryan, you can read more about him right below this video. But in the meantime, here is a sneak peek at Ryan's incredible original song, Automatic Love. And then after that, my interview with the one and only Ryan Flynn.
What are you doing down here? Don't worry, you're one of the good ones.
Well, hello, Ryan. How are you?
Good, Will. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Well, I'm doing so much better now that the audience got a little sneak peek of your incredible talent. And also, Ryan, I want to know, where were you born and when did you realize you had this amazing musical gift?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you. Very kind. So I'm from Long Island, New York, and I think it was started fooling around with the keyboard pretty early on. Didn't, but I also was always into video editing too, so I always had those two loves. By the time high school came around, I was actually in a metal band, and I was the front man for that for 4 years, and that was kind of just fun to do, kind of
Wait,
gig around.
what was the name of the band?
It was called Wargrave.
Of course it was.
Of course it was. Yeah. What
As
else
you
would you
do
call
on Long
it?
Island.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God. What? I'm sorry.
As you do on Long
As we
Island.
do on Long Island, exactly, exactly. So that was fun. Definitely got a kick out of that. Played a few shows, just kind of doing nothing too serious. And then actually, I went down to school in Florida, and I was just kind of messing around, just recording my own stuff, really just to pass amongst my friends. And one of the projects was a music video project, and one of my buddies actually used my song for that project. And there was such like a reception from the class after playing it. I was like, this is kind of cool. And that was much more, that was a metal, that was much more just kind of messing around with like the whole electro pop type of thing. So I kind of from there just really started crafting it more, playing around and just composing scores for like some of the student films and stuff like that. But it just brought me here where I am now. So it's been
Well,
fun.
well, I love it because you not only have this amazing singer-songwriter sensibility about you, but you also seem to have also like a cinematic
Yeah,
mind.
yeah. Oh, thank you.
And
Yeah, I appreciate that.
no, I get it, as a director, but I performed for 25 years. I was always looking at things from a cinematic standpoint, which obviously eventually led me to my directing career. But we will not go into me because this is not about me,
That's
Mr.
awesome
Ryan
though.
Flynn. I want to know where the concept of automatic love came from, not only the concept for the song, but also the music video.
Yeah, sure, sure, sure. So the concept of the song was definitely um, a product of kind of the summer, good old summer of 2020, the not good summer of 2020, and just kind of really taking a step back and just with everything that was going on, kind of being in quarantine and just seeing everything from that perspective. Um, it was just one of those things I just felt like I had to write some sort of song, and I just really wanted to make also it really condensed down into just like kind of like a pop song or super just straightforward like hook verse and then some lyricism that really kind of touch upon just like my feelings as far as like the whole injustice and just everything else that was going on. And then the music video, originally my buddy Steven actually did directed that music video, and we kind of did two things. So the shots that of me, I kind of did the editing there, and then it was kind of a music video within a music video. So that was definitely fun, definitely a project. But I was going for something a lot more darker originally. Like it does have that tonality, but I think he kind of steered it in like a very creative direction as far as just kind of taking a whole new outlook on it, which is something that I love when you're working with somebody else, when you kind of just hand over your baby to somebody else and be like, all right, if I do this, it's going to be something different, but I'm happy to see your whole take on it. So that's kind of where that came from. And I can't thank him enough for like the final product that he made with that video. It's been super fun.
Well, it's amazing. And also, Ryan, I love that you have such a collaborative spirit because, I love working with artists as a director because I mean, there's one thing to be in the trenches. I know what it's like to be a
Yeah.
performer in the trenches, but then when you deal with a director at 30,000 feet, I'm sure sometimes they grab an essence that maybe you never even got to see
Right,
because you're
right.
so in the weeds.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it too. But it's so refreshing too. It kind of like, all right, you just have to let it go, and it does take some of that weight off of your shoulders. And it's also just so nice to kind of get a whole other creative vision in there, something that like you said, that you wouldn't even kind of think about unless it was put in front of you.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, obviously these past 18 months have been hard for all of the human race, but especially for artists. And I'm
for
curious to
sure.
know for you, Ryan, if your North Star as an artist has kind of just become more and more clear now that you've had the time to just sit with yourself and really contemplate, what do I want to do with the time I'm given?
Yeah, I mean, it's been very back and forth because of the way that the music industry has like I mean, all industries have been kind of affected too, being more so kind of geared with social media, even more so than it even was, a lot of that stuff. So I kind of got involved more with that, but also took a step back from it at the same time of like not trying to really drive that so hard into myself and kind of lose the whole reason that, we do these things to begin with, which is to create and to express and stuff like that. So I think the social media everything is such a beautiful, like, expressive format, but at the same time, it's so easy to just get lost in the whole inner workings, whole algorithmic type of thing that you're just trying to keep up, keep up, keep up. But it was nice to kind of get in there, but also at the same time take a few steps back and really remember what you're doing here and what you want to get out there.
And also the why. I mean, yes, we live in a fast-paced social media culture and world right now, but I think what a beautiful opportunity that you took to really kind of, go along with the whole mindset of that it's a marathon and not a sprint, especially in this
Exactly.
keeping up with the Joneses mentality that all of us as
Oh
artists are
yeah.
always, we can get lost in it. But the fact that you've stuck with your guns, you created such a beautiful product, and that you're not about the quantity, but about the quality. And in moving forward, as we hopefully get the heck out of this sucker, I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
live performance is something you are looking forward to getting back to, but also other songs or albums or things that you can kind of give me a little sneak peek on that you're working on.
Yeah, for sure. Just to speaking of live performances, it kind of worked out when I was moving um, out of Phoenix that it's kind of like an Instagram pen pal that I had while since the beginning of quarantine. Uh, FLYNN was a band, and they're from San Francisco, and one of the venues that they book at had opened up finally. So it kind of all worked out with I think it was July 22nd. I got the chance to finally perform all these songs I was writing during quarantine. It was the first show since everything was shut
Giving birth
down.
to the babies.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, nice. Okay, cool. Here's where the social media thing actually like helped out big time with like meeting somebody and just constantly being, in relation with them, constantly chatting, and just how nice of them to reach out to me and be like, hey, you want to play the show? And I'm like, yeah, I can't say no to that. I'll make that happen. So that was a great thing. And then after that show was once again a realization of, oh, this is why I do this. This feels
Right.
amazing, and it was such a nice turnout, such a cool show.
That's
But yeah,
amazing.
that was cool, yeah. But yes, working on some new music to release. Definitely took a nice little break after Automatic Love, which was the latest one, and then eventually maybe make it into an album. But right now, like you had mentioned, is I'm trying to really focus on quality over quantity and just really hone in on getting a nice collection of songs so that I have a nice album to actually release there.
Well, that's what I get from you, Ryan. And also not only your artistry, but that your attention to detail from coming from that cinematic mindset, but
Yeah,
also
right.
being a musician as well. I think it's a great marriage that you have within that creative head of yours. And when
Thank
I
you.
think about Phoenix, this new social media platform, the whole notion of connection. I mean, look at, even before it's launched, I can tell you, as a director, I have over a dozen collaborations going on right now with
Yeah.
people from Japan, China, Singapore, Australia, Boston, San Francisco, Los Angeles, you name it. And when I think about someone who comes from a best idea wins mentality like you do, Ryan, and if you're just on one social media app meeting up with someone in San Francisco, I can imagine the amount of collaborations that
Oh,
people are just going to be gunning to work with you
yeah. Thank
on.
you. Yeah.
So I'm excited for you in this whole in this FENIX. Really, I really am.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I'm not there anymore, but just like in general, I mean, we've been moving around, always looking at new places, which has kind of just kept us open too. Like when the ability to kind of meet these new people and like always collaborate. And maybe it's like, oh, maybe that's a spot to kind of hang
Well,
out
look
for
at,
a little bit.
I mean, if there's anything we learned during this quarantine is that, thank God for Zoom and
Right.
FaceTime and
For
all
sure.
of these in the WeChats. I mean, I never was on any of them, but now that I'm
Yeah.
collaborating with all of these people from across and around the world,
Right.
I just know that this is going to be something that you're going to thrive with, Ryan.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, Ryan, I'm so grateful for your time today, and I want to let our audience know, for more on the incredible Ryan, you can read more about him right below this video. And Ryan, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Will. Thanks so much. It's been great.
Thank you.
Digital age, artists and bands struggle to make a living. In fact, only a small number of artists can live off their craft. For the 98% of artists that don't have the luxury of being signed to a label, it's tough. But artists deserve to live off their art. Wherever you are around the world, appreciation of music does not change. FENIX brings bands and their fans together, whilst allowing bands to properly monetize their passion. The FENIX app will directly connect bands and fans with no need for middlemen. We're utilizing the blockchain to give the power back to the artist once and for all. Join FENIX, join the change.